All right, hello, we're live. My name is Blake Bussey. I am WFSA social media and digital manager. And today I have a very special guest. Please introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you, Blake. My name is Corrine Heck, and I am the founder and CEO of a company called Details Flowers Software. And I'm so excited to be here with you.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God. Thank you for joining. Owner, entrepreneur. And you, I looked up your history. You used to be in the, were you a florist or you were in the event biz or like
Yeah.
what were you doing before you started your company?
So I actually started in the flower world back in 2002, and I worked for an import company out of Miami, and I sold boxes of flowers. And then I actually opened an event design studio in Central Florida, and we ran that business for 15 years before I kind of did the software in dual time. So
Okay.
I was running both businesses as the software was getting going, but
Oh
it
my
was very
goodness.
helpful. Yeah.
And so that's amazing. Like what kind of made you want to go all out for Details Flower Software? Like,
Well, it was really kind of crazy how it happened. But years ago, when I was selling flowers as a importer, I was always angry with my sales or my procurement people because they would buy on speculation and also on what was on sale. And so then it was my job to sell it. And it came down to a lot of times I didn't make a sale because I didn't have the right color product or the right roses or and I was like, well, how do you not know what people are going to ask for? And they're like, well, no one knows. So then I always wanted to do weddings. I love the business of love. So wearing Valentine's Day.
yes.
I had a dream of like playing with the flowers and designing weddings. So I did a couple bridal shows and booked a couple weddings as I was selling like boxes of flowers during the day. I was moonlighting at night as like a dream wedding florist. And it just occurred to me after a few years of doing it that I really had to be systematic and very meticulous about my ordering if I was going to be profitable. And it was just when I would book a wedding in January, I would know what I needed to order for their October wedding. And I was like, this is the information that everybody on the import side needs. Like they need this valuable data. And if I can get more florists using the software, I thought I had solved a larger problem. So it really it was like my Oprah aha moment. So,
Oprah,
yeah. I couldn't stop thinking about it for like 6 years before I took action. So
because you really developed something that no one else had, essentially done. And I feel it's incredible that, they were able to have you as that catalyst to kind of like, bring together those solutions that you were just able to provide. So,
yeah, I think I had over 800 weddings during like the course of my event design business. So we were really busy. We would do 2 or 3 weddings a weekend, and it just got so cumbersome. And I was really good in my systems up to that point, but I thought, what are people doing that aren't not as savvy as I am with the Microsoft Excel? Like,
absolutely.
And that was the thing. I would have people come on and they would ruin my calculations or mess things up. And so I knew I needed to move it over to a database infrastructure. So now we're helping a florist stay organized. We're helping them be profitable. They're efficient. They send out gorgeous proposals, and we also help them with their payments. So it's been a dream come true. So thank you for acknowledging it. It was not an easy road.
No, absolutely not. It's never an easy road when you're, out here trying to be an entrepreneur, trying to create a business, basically from the ground floor. It's fantastic to hear. I'm very envious of that kind of stuff because I wish I can just like go out and just like be like, I'm gonna go out and just make my own business and make my ideas come to life. But I'm scared.
Oh, don't be scared. You have to jump in feet first. You just have to have that confidence. And I swear there were tons of people that told me, no, it was impossible. Sure. I'm not going to be able to do it. What do you know about this kind of business? And it was like, I don't know, but I'm going to read everything I can to understand as much as I can. And before you know it, I'm sitting at, a table, with you, with WFSA, the whole wholesale industry. So to me, that is just kind of an exciting journey to be on, and something I love to share, that anything is really possible if you set your mind to it and have focus and just vision. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so speaking of that, you being able to attend, that was your first time last year attending as an exhibitor with
It
your
was.
booth, correct?
Yeah, it was. I think we did a phenomenal job. Pedal Productions really did a wonderful job for me. They're a customer of ours. They do massive weddings, way bigger than I would have done, but I asked them if they would create a booth, and I think they really did a phenomenal job. So thank you.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they did. They really did. I remember.
They're doing big guns again this year, so we'll see what they do.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm so excited now. And we're only a month away. A month from today, I think. A
Gosh,
month from
no, it's a
No,
couple.
a month of a couple days.
I gotta.
But oh my gosh, it's coming up so fast. So, but yeah, I just have to just acknowledge your booth was gorgeous. I mean, I love that. So, I mean, how you had the different what were they? They were like different crystals.
Aerotheriums. Yeah, they were called Aerotheriums. They're from a designer in California, and she has a company called House of Stems, and her products are featured in details. And so I just thought it would be a nice compliment to people are Googling over these online. And I just thought that everybody in the industry needs to see them up close. And she's just such an artist. So yeah.
That's nice too, because you're actually like giving your client some exposure too at the same time, which is really
Absolutely.
nice.
We love that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And so you attended FDC, and do you believe it exceeded your expectations? Like, what were you expecting, and did it end up happening? Like, did you accomplish your goals there? Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. You know, this was our 6th year going, and I'd previously started going in. I guess this will be our 6th year in 2016, and that was shortly after launching Details. So, a mutual friend in the industry told me that I needed to attend this event. And I went for the first time, and I really was like so blown away by all the fun activities and just kind of seeing people, the networking. I made such great contacts that first year, and it's really been building on. But this year, we had a really phenomenal time. You know, we rented out, I think it was room 45, the Ivanka Trump suite, and we hosted something, just a little private. I would have invited you, like if we were close there. You would have had a smashing time, but it was great. We had the California people, we had the Colombian people. They were all together. I felt like the prom queen, actually. So it was really fun.
Okay. You were honestly the queen of the event. Like, to me, I absolutely adored you that whole time. So every interaction.
I participated in the fun stuff. You know, when people do social media, I'm always like discouraged when people don't participate. So I had to step in, post a bunch. You know, I
so appreciate that. You know, I think everyone's very engaged, with WF&FSA on, Instagram, but, I'm trying to really amp up our other platforms and show that, we're more present. And that's one thing that I feel like we've been lacking lately. So that was just really my strategy, was like, yeah, I want to do something, I was like, I want to sign. So I had my own little sign up there. I was like, I want people to, know this is happening, know this is going on. And you obviously were our winner for the social contest. So
yeah.
So I really appreciate that, your participation.
Yeah, my pleasure. It was a lot of fun, and I had my husband out there, so Greg came and joined me. Samantha, who's usually my travel buddy, was not feeling well, and so I was like, "Oh, you can't. This is not the place for you to have the sniffles."
Absolutely.
No, so I told her to stay home, and I brought Florida Man with me. So everybody had a fun time getting to know him, and we have a lot of fun in this business, and we're just really enjoying it and just getting to know people. I think that's what it's all about, is those networks, those connections. And yeah,
you are spot on with that, making those connections. And that's really like why I started this, little series, this live series, really because, the president, you mentioned Gabriel, he had a vision to create a movement. And so we kind of, I had a little logo up here at the top, the flower movement. And we really developed around that idea he had, to really make this more of a grassroots effort to make connections and bring the floral industry together in a different kind of way, so that we're not like promoting like products and services, but we're more so promoting like, what people are actually doing to uplift their communities.
Yeah.
Um, and some people might not know what that means or how exactly you would even get involved with that. And that's why I wanted to kind of start this series so we can kind of build off of that and help our members build onto it. Obviously some people I've had on here already did have done things already in their local communities, to whether it's like just going out to a community center to service them, or they're donating flowers to a hospital, whatever it may be. It's good to acknowledge those things, and that's why I wanted to really speak to members and get that information so that way we can share it far and wide, so we can have that
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's where the hashtag One Flower Family campaign came into fruition. So I'm really excited to make you a part of this movement. Really, like, I guess my first question would be like, what has Detail Flower Software, what have you really done in your community, if anything, to uplift people with flowers or whatever it is?
So I have to say, we do a few things throughout the year, but something I always do, and there's it's an association. It's called 1 Million Cups, and we have a chapter of that in Daytona Beach, where I'm located. And every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m., and this happens across the country, in almost every major city, but entrepreneurs get together to share their entrepreneurial journey or their story. And so I'll always surprise them with a bouquet. So my team will come in with like 50 different bouquets and pass those out a few times throughout the year. So I'm really known as our local flower girl here, and it's always cool to see their faces. We did that again with SAF's Pedal It Forward too. So that was like a really nice day. And then, we really try to participate or go to as many events throughout the country that we can since we started Details. And so I feel like that being present just kind of makes people feel like we're acknowledging their events that they're trying to put on or get exposure with. So I feel like that's how we are helping the community, is by being present and attending their events, or participating in their social media campaigns. If they're wanting to do a fun contest, we say yes. Like, what can we do to just share what other people are doing and cross-pollinate? That's what we're trying to cross-pollinate there. We use it all the time, but it's so fun to be in the flower business and have so many great, words like grow or, I could go.
Pedal It Forward. I was like, that's a freaking genius. I'm like,
but it's been such a fun campaign, and just to see the reaction. So I think that people really get it. And then with everything Cal Flowers is doing with that flower feeling, I just think so much interaction is happening in the flower industry now. So
absolutely, yeah. And I'm actually very curious. We didn't participate, but in SAF's Pedal It Forward, what was that experience like for you? Just like, going up to people and just giving them one single flower, like to be like, hey, this is for you to pass on to another.
Well, we have a new partner with Jet Fresh Flowers, and they actually sent us hundreds of bouquets. So we gave out full bouquets, and it was just I took a lot of the new people on my team that hadn't experienced that kind of gifting. And some people don't really understand why you're trying to give them flowers. They're like, oh, no, thank you. And I'm like, no, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just please take two and give them to one of your loved ones and pass them on. Yeah, it's always a fun experience. My husband's a photographer, so, we just try to get all those stellar photo moments and so blow up our social media and let people know what we're doing, and the rest of the floral community too. So love it. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. See, I can't wait for Cal Flowers movement to get off the ground, and I can't wait for this year's SAF, because I'm like, I'm doing it this year. Like, I'm doing it. Yeah. So I'm absolutely excited for these new movements, because that's what it's all about, is just us coming together, supporting each other in these different campaigns, because if we're not going to do it, there's no way our industry can survive if we all really don't support each other. So
Yeah. Well, we're so thankful to our earliest supporters. I mean, we have florists that have been with us now for 6 years, and our earliest adopters, they really helped guide us and teach us and, just help us understand their pain points. And then I can take that, interpret it, put it to action. But if we're not communicating, if we're not supporting those people with new ideas, then, those might fizzle out and die. So I'm really excited that we were able to pursue this passion of mine and get it off the ground. But those earliest supporters of ours have been they hold a special place in my heart. So I know that's widely felt in the whole industry if you have something. So yes.
Yeah, I mean, just the care and the tone in your voice is so true, so honest. I can absolutely hear it. And really, your company in itself is the flower movement. Let's be honest. Like, that's, to me, is what.
I'll take it.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, you're really helping florists and their businesses really, lift up other people by spreading love.
Yeah.
Weddings are the definition of love, I don't know.
Really, I always have loved going to weddings, to attending them. And when I after college, I was just like, I just want to work in the business of love and romance. Like, give me the happy stuff. I would not do any funeral. I was like, so even still now, to this day, Details does not really specialize in funerals, although we do have some funeral templates. But I feel like we're in the business of love and like community events, and so they need to happen. And it was really difficult these last couple of years watching a lot of businesses struggle, but then a lot of them like pulled themselves together and now they're just doing amazing. So I like to think that we're a part of that.
You absolutely are. And even like trying to uplift others while you're trying to even keep your own self uplifted at the same time. Like, so many people are so strong for even like, really pulling through. So
I think that comes down to doing weddings though, because in that business, when I was selling those events, you wanted to create a wow-worthy experience for every single client.
For sure.
And if there was like a dumpster fire happening out back, the bride cannot know. You just need to put out the fire and be that happy face. So I feel like that serves us really well right now, and being that strong security, for our florists.
Absolutely. And then I just one more question about 1 million cups. So what is their goal? What is their, I'm curious. I never heard of that before. So.
Oh yeah, look it up. It's by the Kaufman Foundation, and this is an organization that basically just wanted to lift up communities. And what they were finding was, if communities that were really thriving, it was based on an ecosystem. And so it had very established companies that were giving advice to newer companies or entrepreneurs. And so this was developed to basically be a sounding board for more experienced companies to share their journey, and then to bring together the entrepreneurs so they could tell theirs. And like that meeting, there's always like a Q&A session at the end of every presentation. So you have to give like an 8-minute pitch, which is kind of like an 8-minute condensed story of your business.
Yeah.
Having pitched many times, that's where I was like, okay, well, I can get up there and do this. But it's just a great way to inspire other entrepreneurs and give them advice. And like, our community is so well networked here in Daytona. It's actually very, very strong as far as like the ecosystem goes, because we have NASCAR, we have some Amazon, establishments here. I mean, there's a lot of big companies that are in the area. So I feel like we're all working together to make Daytona a place you'd want to move to, or business. So, so we got our little software company here.
Yeah. And so what was it that drove you to Daytona? Where did you grow up there?
No, I actually grew up in Apopka, Florida. My family owned nurseries, and we had a terrarium business, dish gardens that we would ship all over the country. So I grew up running through greenery nursery fields. And my husband, he grew up here in Ormond Beach. So when we found out we were having our second child, we decided to move here. And having lived in Miami, I didn't think I could start a thriving event business in Miami because of the competition. But here in Daytona, it was a little bit smaller.
Sure.
And I was doing big city flowers, and which was, it was like I was the main florist in this.
Yes.
So it gave me a lot of opportunity to work with really large resorts, tons of beach weddings, you know, it happened here, destination weddings. Everybody either get married on the beach or jump on their Harley and have their wedding done at the Harley Davidson. So I've done a lot of those too.
I mean, that
more seashells, more seashells than I can count. But yeah, so that's basically why. But the need was the same whether I was in a big city or a small one. So it was the perfect sounding board, I think, to start something like this.
That's amazing. Well, I am so overwhelmed by how much you guys are all doing and the great things you're doing for the community. I do want to say, I do want to ask, if you were to give any advice to, wholesale florists, floral suppliers, any other entrepreneurs, your florists, like what would you say? What advice would it be?
Gosh. Oh, I mean, I think I kind of touched on it with supporting other people and cross-pollinating. So I can't say that is my answer. I would say if there's something that you're thinking about and very passionate about, okay, this is a thing. This is what I'm going to say. Okay. Be careful who your gatekeepers are. These larger companies might often have people, like I've made so many hundreds of calls and I'd often reach a gatekeeper that was like the person before whoever it was I needed to speak to make the decisions. And they would decide, they would decide right then if they wanted to pass it along to the real person that was making, like they were like feeling like they were in control almost. So often I think it's like, be careful who your gatekeepers are, because they could be turning away opportunities that you really would have liked to have known about. So that is, I think, what I'm going to say.
That's very, very astute. Very astute.
It's just happened a couple of times, but I've often met people who are like, wow, I love your business. Why haven't you reached out to me? And it's like, oh, well, I did. And Susie Q told me that you guys weren't interested. So, I'm not going to keep feeling like a used car salesman.
No.
What we have is really groundbreaking. So
absolutely.
It all comes around and, they come knocking on my door instead of me knocking on their door now. But be careful who your gatekeepers are, because
So if, for instance, if like someone does want to, because I believe this can happen even if one wants to volunteer, some people aren't so open to, people coming in or they might put them through a whole application process, things might get a little more complicated in that realm as well. Would you say like a good way to get around that, maybe to like actually show up, maybe like have that presence, show up and be there present? Obviously, no, we don't want to be a salesperson and keep like calling and email communications that you never just getting back to. Like, would you find that people should, just show up if you really want to do something to help your community grow your business? Do you think that would be?
I mean, obviously, I think that in person is always best.
Yes.
I think that it just makes for a more personal connection. For me, though, when I was starting, it was a lot of we didn't have a lot of capital to make a lot of flights or trips. So a phone call or an email was kind of sometimes the best way. Sure. But I definitely think you can see passion in someone. And, we'll often hire people to join our team based on their level of enthusiasm. Maybe not necessarily their technical skills.
Yeah.
They can be taught.
Or their experience. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, I think that a lot of times when people meet me or my team, they often comment that it's like, wow, I love you. And I love that you're so passionate about what you're doing. And I think that is also another key advice. Be passionate about what you're doing. Yes. And really go all in and, so they know you mean business.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's great. I love that. I love being passionate. Your passion is so clear. It's crisp. It's wonderful. It's refreshing. It's refreshing.
Oh, thank you.
Like flowers, like.
Yes.
Oh my God, because it's your last name.
It is.
Okay. You in the right business, girl. You're in the right business.
It's all about timing, Blake. It's all these things.
It really is.
Yeah, no.
So the last thing I had on the docket here was for to keep the momentum going, for the flower movement, and to keep sharing amazing stories like yours and the things that your company is doing. I wanted to have that as kind of a form of a challenge to pass it along to another member company, so they can come on here, speak to me, and talk about whatever it is that they're doing in their local communities and how they're spreading joy, love, and cheer with flowers. So who did you decide?
This
Yeah.
is a tough call, Blake. I know. I've been sitting on this for a while.
Yeah. If you want to give me all 4 names, I'll bug all 4 of them.
Maybe off the deck. Gosh, there's been so many people that have been just so lovely to me over the last little bit, and I really think that they need the opportunity to share what they're doing.
Sure.
But I think I'm going to go with a newer friend of mine who actually just took over a business, and that business is 125 years old.
Holy crap.
And I'm going to nominate Jules Lewis Gibson, the new editor of Florist Review magazine, because I had a conversation with her last week, and she's just doing so much to blow up our florists and really all these really great features of the picture perfect weddings. And I just think more people need to know about her magazine and what it takes to put on a piece of literature like this that has such a long standing in the floral world. And I think that as a one flower family, like let's get in there and see what she's got. So that's going to be who I'm nominating, and I'll give you a list of a few others.
Yes, I would love that. But that's great, because actually, Florist Review is going to be it's going to be at FDC, and they're going to be a big supporter.
You mentioned that, so that's kind of why I thought that maybe people need to get familiar with her and what she's doing, because I think she's going to be relaunching Super Floral and Canadian Florist magazine. So I just feel like, yeah, let's have her on.
Let's have her on. Absolutely, I agree, and I'm subscribed to her review as well. And I mean the content is just fantastic. It's so it's visually. Just so beautiful. So that alone, but
our customers are all so excited to be featured. And I know that we had I think a dozen customers that were featured in our last issue, and they are just wanting to get these things pinned up and printed, and they're just so proud to have that in the pages. And I just think it's just nice to support that. So
absolutely. Well, that's amazing that she even she's giving so much exposure for us. So that's fantastic. Anything for the power of communications and marketing, honey. I'm here for anything marketing, communications, PR. I mean, any of it. Video, digital marketing. Look, I'm about it all. So I love that.
Awesome.
So any last words before we sign off, Corrine?
Well, I would just say, if you're not familiar with Details, please check out our website. So I'm going to plug us now, detailsflowers.com, and check us out. We are just really excited about what we're doing. We're working on all kinds of new technology. We're introducing new partner products and just different ways to showcase our product partners. And it's really interesting. We're going back and tracking all the analytics of what our customers are using and then providing that to our partners. So it's just really insightful to see how your product does throughout the year, when you can anticipate sales or when it might be slower for certain varieties. Do growers need to pull these out of the ground because they're just not selling, or should they plant more? So I just think that the insights that we're collecting are just going to change the whole landscape. And I'd be excited to discuss that with anybody who might be interested.
Absolutely. Well, that's fantastic. I'm 100% in support of everything you do. So thank you again so much for joining me today at nighttime. I know, I'm sure you I'm not sure if you're home already or you're at the office. I don't know.
No, I skipped yoga for this. This is a big deal.
Oh my goodness. I feel very special then. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
So
thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. You're a delight. I can't wait to hang out with you. And I got the
thank
suite again.
you.
So just to
You
put it out there,
got what?
someone wants an invite to our VIP suite.
Yes. Look, I'll be waiting for my little invitation. Look, I'll wait.
I'll give you a gold sticker. Yeah. You got to wear the sticker to get in the VIP. No.
Okay. Oh, see, that's what that's for. Okay. I was like, I thought I got a gold sticker for doing a good job or something, but if that's what it's for,
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
You'll get to.
So I do want to let you know, please send me links if you have any links to the 1 million cups, the Kaufman Foundation. If you want to send me some information, if you have pictures or anything of you speaking, whatever it is, like I want to share it on our website. So if anyone wants to know more information about the flower movement, you can go to www.flowermovement.org. So we're going to be sharing a lot of stories there, and I have my upcoming lives there as well. So yeah, just DM me or email us, marketing@wfsa.org. If you guys have any more information. But thank you again for watching tonight. Corrine, you are wonderful.
Thank you.
We will see you later.
All right.
Bye, everyone.